Right, week 8. Of course, the AC would turn on just as I come in here. So, obviously, this plant, after I sprayed it in bugs, did not do real well. There was also an issue with the feeder tube, so it kind of got killed in multiple ways. What I did notice is the pepper plants this year, aphids from hell. Something about spraying with the soapy water mixture, you don't do it every day. I did it a couple days in a row, so it says like every 2 or 3 days. But I noticed that I'm going to be jumping around here. This is the one I trimmed, even though it's starting to come back to life. The one that I grew from seed and trimmed. All these pepper plants came from a small nursery group that we have up here. There's like 4 or 5 stores. They weren't the Home Depot Bonnie plants. So that's the biggest difference that I can see. I got bugs and spiders trying to land on me here, so we can get rid of that. Spider webs are taking over inside. Anyways, so I clipped these and I'm like, you know what? Well, they may or may not grow, so we'll see. But for a couple of these, I'm definitely going to go. I'm going to take them out, go to Home Depot this morning. It's only about 8 o'clock right now. Get rid of a couple of these plants because it's just not worth the time and effort to start with something like that. So anyways, that's that news. The beefsteak tomatoes trying to do its thing. A bunch of blossoms. Crappy pepper plants. The chocolate sprinkle. We've got some that are ripening. You can kind of get in there and see the green striations, so basically it's just an heirloom. So there's a bunch of little ones trying all over the place. So this one's starting to fruit and catch up. Most of these blossoms are pollinated. It's just taking its sweet time to kick out some tomatoes. Trying to keep them fairly trimmed up. Was watching a video. There's some ladies up in Canada someplace. They work on a commercial farm, and there's a lot of good information. So I need to do a little more trimming now that there's some established things on the plant. The red pear, no tomatoes yet. Lots of blossoms. And just trying to keep it trim. I mean, it's all the way above my head, so I was going to clip it a little bit. I did clip the main one. And then these grew up in the last couple of days, so we'll see what happens. The bitter melon is starting to turn colors, so basically heat or lack of nutrients. So obviously not lack of nutrients is not the problem here. I mean, even these little tiny ones aren't even growing. That one's actually rotting. That one's soft. This isn't soft, but so that may be a failed experiment just based on the heat. You already saw this sad piece of work here. So the midnight snack, got some tomatoes hanging out there. There's a bunch on the cluster hanging out, and a bunch more that are coming in. Most of that's all pollinated. You can see the sucker growing back in there. It's not really big enough to grab yet, but that'll get picked off eventually. Ate one of the tomatoes the other day. I got one ready to pick, that big one in the back, another day or so. But this has, I don't know, a couple dozen. They're just popping out more and more because everything's pollinated. It's just there's so many blossoms, it's just taking time. So yeah, we got Mondo grape tomato hybrids all over the place. So This indigo rose. There's one hanging out back there and more on the way. The early girl, it's got a lot of branches. I guess technically what you're not supposed to do, where I got this fork in the road, that should have been clipped. You should basically have a single vine up. We'll see what I do with that. I guess it's not too late to clip it, but I don't know, it looks fine, but most of the videos I've been watching, they've got a single branch and then everything coming off of it. So maybe I'll hack that off later and see what happens. But anyways, there's stuff growing, more coming in. The black creme, this is an heirloom, same thing here, right? So there's a fork in the road. You're not supposed to have a fork in the road, but they're both growing, but I guess it just pushes too much nutrients in two directions, so, but we'll see what happens. I'll probably let this one go since there's so much going on over here on this one, where this one doesn't really have anything going on. It's got a couple of things starting, so I think if I nip it in the bud now, everything else will flourish. We'll see. This one's got like 3 things at the junction. But, you know, just different things you learn watching, you know, some of these videos, and the commercial growers especially. No little baby tomatoes on this one as of yet. So these are Abe Lincolns. I don't know if I mentioned that last week, so I finally went and looked at the seed pack. Trying to see if there's any on this one. I thought this one had, yeah. So there's one starting, trying in there. I thought this one had a couple more someplace else, but whatever. Not that it matters. And then these 2 sad peppers. They had a boatload of big leaves until I clipped them. So this one I grew from seed actually is not a pickling. This is, I don't know, they call it wasn't snack size or something else. Anyway, so about 6-7 inches. This one's a little bit on the bigger side. This one needs to get picked today. So these are a little bigger than the next door neighbor here, the pickling. So you can see some hanging out in there. So this one's doing okay. I don't know if it's the heat or just as it gives up the fruit and you cut it off, or the vegetable in this case, some of the leaves start dying off, but I mean, plants are still growing like crazy. I haven't done much trimming. It's been doing pretty well, so you just gotta look around. There's just cucumbers just be popping up everywhere. So unless I decide to yeah, I'm going for new plants, like I said, but we'll see how many I do. So that's it.